This was one of my most experimental and exciting loaves yet of sourdough because I'm doing my first ever sourdough loaf with spelt flour. Not a 100% spelt sourdough loaf yet. I'm gonna work my way up. Maybe we'll get there someday, but for today we're doing 40% and it came out beautiful. That was a major spoiler, but I'm using my generic sourdough recipe and I'm just subbing 40% of the flour measurement for spelt flour instead of bread flour. So it was 350 grams of water, not warm, just regular room temperature water, filtered of course. 150 grams of starter, as always, ripe starter. Mine is made with unbleached flour. 200 grams of spelt flour, not light spelt flour, regular spelt flour. It's much less processed than light spelt flour, and I wanted with all its nutrients to it. And then the remaining 300 grams of flour was bread flour, and then I also did 10 grams of salt. I mixed the dough up with my bread whisk like I normally do, and then I used my hands to kind of bring it all together and do a couple kneading motions. I covered it with a shower cap for an hour, and then I performed stretch and folds 1 hour apart, and I did that 3 times. The dough felt very smooth and elastic. It was getting a lot of tension and air bubbles were forming, and it just felt very puffy and in a very good way. Very excited to see what comes of this. The bulk fermentation is over. This only took 3 hours. If anything, I could have shaped it a little bit earlier, but it is super fluffy, and I must say when I was doing the stretch and folds, the dough felt very good. The makeup of it was really nice. It looks better than my usual loaves, and I just really want to get into using spelt. I am a huge fan of spelt bread, so over time I'm going to increase my percentage and ratios of spelt to white, and I think it's going to be really good. For now, we're going to pre-shape. By the way, it is just super jiggly and it smells really good. We're looking forward to start baking more sourdough items with spelt flour as well, maybe even a loaf, like a classic sandwich bread loaf. That was very nice. This might be slightly overproofed. This is looking and feeling really good. I'm very pleased with it. So I'm gonna cover it with the kitchen towel for 30 minutes, let it rest, and then we'll do our final shaping. All right, it's time for the final shaping. This with more flour, do exactly what we just did. And then I'm gonna get it into my bread basket, and I'll probably let it proof in there for about 2 hours just to kind of like puff up a bit and start the growth before I put it into the fridge overnight. I'm not gonna lie, this feels better than my traditional artisan loaves. It is perfect. Just stitch up the bottom. So I'm gonna cover this with a shower cap. In 2 hours, it's gonna grow a little bit.